So let's just pretend for a second that we had to do like an MMA tag team and you and I were like tag team partners. But the kicker is you have to fight with me as your partner. You have to fight with somebody who's not a fighter as your tag team partner, right? And then
Oh,
same with the other team. So then it's like strategy, right? So when you're tired, you would need to
yeah.
tag me in. You kind of have to hope that whoever we're fighting, they're tired too, because obviously I get my ass whipped. So for our gimmick, like what should we be? Because
I
we
don't
have to have
know,
like matching
but if we're gonna
outfits.
do that, I gotta get you right. You gotta come to Tiger Schulmann. We gotta get you in the whole cardio system. We gotta get you going.
For sure. I was thinking maybe we could do like lucha libre fighters. Like we could have like masks on and capes and shit.
Yeah,
Thoughts?
that's a definite like WWE out here. Yeah,
Yeah,
we could definitely get some cool outfits. I'll get that arranged. I know a few people. I know a few fashion brands that can make us some custom stuff.
what is going on, everybody? Is your guy Tyler here with Mom's Basement MMA. In the last episode, I had my boy Blake Perry on, episode 17, and we are at the Central Coast of California. In episode 18, I am with my friend Melissa Statick. We are in New York City. So happy to be back on the East Coast. So, Melissa, I wanted to ask you a little bit about your background. Doing some research on you, I can tell that you have experience with Muay Thai, K1, mixed martial arts. Can you talk a little bit about just kind of how you got into the sport?
Yeah, most definitely. As a kid, I was always very creative and I was a very active child. I grew up with two sisters. We're all exactly 4 years apart. Both of them were pretty mellow and calm growing up, but I was the one that my parents could not get off of them, and off their case and bothering them. And I was full of life and energy. And I was always active, playing outside, doing all this crazy stuff. So my parents were like, we gotta put her in something. You can't leave her at home all day. Like this girl, she needs to be put in something. So when I was 12, they put me in Tiger Schulmann's. And I started at 12 years old. I fell in love with just training. I built a family and made so many friends that I still know till this day. And I couldn't wait to get out of school just so I can step in there and train. Like I couldn't wait for the bell to ring so I could go train and see my real friends. I had friends in school, but Tiger Schulmann's like a family to me. It is a family to me. And I was just a little girl that fell in love with fighting. I competed at such a young age doing Naga's Challenge of Champions.
You've been at Tiger Schulman's like for half your life.
I'm 24, so exactly
I
half
get.
of
Oh,
my
wow, I didn't
life.
even know that. I guess. Wow,
Exactly half of my life.
that's wild. So, can
Yeah.
you tell me a little bit, like, okay, so you start in martial arts as a kid, and at what point were you at Tiger Schulman's where they're like, have you thought about going, like, taking this up a level and actually competing? Did that happen at a relatively young age? Can you walk me through that?
Um, I was a very aggressive kid. Okay. We're talking about a girl that had like energy up to here where my parents could not tire me out. So when I was in there playing and I was kickboxing and training, like I was a very aggressive child. So I had to compete. There's a belt system as well. So, the goal was to get another belt. And starting at a white belt, then there's a whole, progression. So in order to get the next belt, you gotta compete. You gotta show, what you could do. And all my friends were competing and it was really fun to do as a kid. But I think once I hit about 17 years old, I nobody told me to fight. Nobody said, okay, time for you to fight in the ring. I had went to a fight at the Capitale. And this was at the time Muna Holland was fighting. She's actually phenomenal fighter, and I train with her at the gym now as adults. But I was watching her fight, and I literally my eyes just lit up. I saw this big ring at the Capitale in New York City with lights, and I was like a kid in a candy store. Like I just fell in love right then and there, and I saw her fight, and oh my God, like this woman, just seeing her fighting there, I was like, I want to do this. I went to my next day and I went to my instructor and I said, Sensei, I want to fight. I want to do that. I was like, if they could do it, I could do it too. I want to do that. I love that. Like, I fell in love with it right then and there. And right after that, I started training, and my sensei got me my first fight at 18 years old. So
Schulmann's, you've been in Tiger Schulmann since you were 12. Did you get like picked on as a kid? Did people think like you were a dork for doing a bunch of like
yes,
karate stuff?
yes. Once you hit high school, it's kind of tough, you know? And kids definitely picked on me, especially in high school. You know, you see a pretty little girl in school, and social media was a thing as well. And I did get picked on. You know, they're like, oh, she fights, you know, or she competes. Don't mess with her. And then, you know, there's jealous girls. You know, as a pretty girl in high school, you are going to get picked on. And I went to a public school in Astoria, and I had a group of friends, and they knew I fought. They knew, and they always wanted to pick on me because they didn't believe that I was able to fight, because I never really looked like the person that would fight. And I wasn't the type of person that would lash out and just want to fight everybody. But there was a point where I was being bullied within my senior year of high school, where a group of friends with me, and one of them were calling me out online and wouldn't stop bullying me. And I was like, I really want to go to prom. Like, if I fight this girl, I'm not going to be able to go to prom. This is not fair, you know? Like, and she's picking on me, posting about me online. And I tried to go to the principal, and this girl really got on my nerves. And I kept telling my parents, even my parents wanted to go to the principal and speak to this, you know, the staff, and, you know, like, tell them like, hey, my daughter is getting bullied online. My daughter is getting harassed. Like, this girl will not stop posting about me. And then it got to a point where I was in class one day, and I didn't, at that point, I was totally isolated. I had nobody around me. All my friends like went away because this one girl like had beef with me, like random beef for no reason, because that's what they're going to do. When you're a teenager, people are going to pick on you for no reason. And she had posted online, and I got irritated. You know, I had my Tiger Schulmann's hoodie on, and I was fighting at the time. And I was also like, you know, prepping for competitions. And this girl, I'm like, Melissa doesn't want to fight me. Melissa's being a coward. Melissa does. And it got to a point where I was just like, okay, you know what? This girl's getting on my nerves. So I circle the entire high school looking for this girl. I go to the first floor. She's not there. Second floor, third floor. She's right there. I find this girl, and I went right after her. I do not recommend doing this, but when somebody is bullying you, it is not tolerable. You know, I think that especially nowadays with social media and people posting all kinds of crazy stuff online, you always have to stand up for yourself and myself. And after I stood up for myself, nobody bothered me ever again. I was not allowed to go to prom. I did not go to prom, but I did what I was supposed to do. And yeah, I didn't feel safe fighting this girl outside of school, because I don't know what she's going to do to me. And I don't know, you know, what, you know, my friends are going to do or what's going to go on. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to fight her in the school. She's trying to bother me. She won't stop harassing me. So I'm going to get this done. And I did it with full bravery. I was young. And yeah, I did that.
It seems kind of weird, but like I like particularly with the women I have on my show, I ask that question because
Yeah.
fighting, you know, fair or I will say this, like the climate is a little bit different now, I think, compared to like when you were growing up, because now it may be considered kind of cool. You know, MMA, that whole thing, it's a little bit more widely known
Yeah.
now. The whole Ronda Rousey thing has already happened, and a lot of, you know, I think that
Oh,
made a
she
lot
was
of
my
like,
idol. Yeah.
yeah, she was
She
the
was my
biggest star in the
inspiration.
UFC.
She still is.
Yeah, she's one of the best to ever do it, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's like maybe perceived as maybe a little bit less of a boys club compared to what it used to be like maybe like 10, 15 years ago. Um, so, you know,
Yeah.
that's just kind of like a question I ask a lot of women, because that seems to be a thing. Like, your story's not unique. I've heard that fairly often for women who've been like doing karate or taekwondo or boxing or whatever it may be, because, you know, only weirdos did that, only squares did that. And that's tough. You know, being a
Yeah.
teenager is difficult enough, but then when you're getting singled out for being
Yeah.
different,
I
it's
always
just
got made fun of
absolutely,
for it. I got picked on for it. They're like, "Oh, she's training, haha." Like, I'm like, no, like this is something that I love, and my whole family was there,
yeah.
and I had a whole like friend group. Imagine being at school 8 hours a day, and you're like totally isolated, and like nobody wants to be friends with you. And then, you know, you have like 2 hours within the day in the evening, like every day, to be able to see your real friends. It was tough. Graduating, I didn't even go to my graduation. I got picked on. I got picked on.
And
I didn't go to prom, graduation, none of that. But you know what? it is what it is.
So what kind of like piece of advice would you give somebody like my daughter? She's 14 years old. She's going to be a freshman in high school this year. What kind of advice would you give her or girls like her that deal with bullies?
I would say stand up for yourself. Say something. When someone's trying to really get at you and hurt you, it's tough. It's tough. It's tough out here, especially being a girl. When somebody's picking on you, say something. One thing I regret is being quiet for that long and not saying something to this girl, waiting to do what I had to do. But yeah, say something. Don't back down. You like, especially you as a parent, like she needs to go straight to you if there's a problem for real. Because out here, it's tough.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that you said that. Bullying, that's definitely a thing that I am. I care a lot about
Yeah,
that.
for
My
sure.
wife is a teacher. She teaches.
Oh wow.
She teaches fourth grade. So it's a little
Wow. My
bit
sister's a
different.
teacher as well. It's tough.
It's really tough, but that bullying thing, it really starts early on in elementary school. And as crazy as
Yeah.
it sounds to like super old people like me, there was no like Facebook or whatever back in the day when I was a kid. Like it was just, yeah, you may get picked on at school or see other kids getting picked on, but like that ends when you get off the bus. And now it's not like that.
Mm,
Even like these little fifth graders and stuff, they have TikToks and they have Instagram or whatever.
yeah, there's
And the
lots of
bullying
stuff
doesn't
out here.
stop.
It's totally different. It's totally different. When I was in high school, yeah, we had Facebook, we had Instagram, but now we have like all these platforms, and it's wow, everything is online, so it's tough.
It is absolutely brutal.
It's tough. Like
It is absolutely
you
brutal.
know,
So you would get picked on, like, and I hear that a lot, like fighters get picked on, and it's like, and not just women, but like even like the guys, and people are
yeah,
stupid, and you get into a bar situation or whatever, like, oh, that guy's a fighter, and I want to fight that guy. I bet you I can whip his ass. Like, I know that sounds stupid to probably
they purposely like
90%.
wanted to fight me because they knew that I trained. It was insane.
It's just dumb. It's so stupid to me, and it doesn't like compute. Like, why would you pick on somebody who like fights? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. But people do it, and it's just stupid.
Is what I didn't look intimidating at all. I still don't look intimidating. Like I didn't look intimidating whatsoever. So it was easy for
I
them to like, I was like an
disagree.
easy target. It's like pick on her. And I'm like, whatever,
No,
I
I
stay
I've
quiet.
seen those. I've seen those videos of you in the gym. I disagree, but I've seen you in action. I see what you can do. I see you hit those pads really hard. There was that one video that you put up on Instagram where you were sparring, and then you like put this like really slick armbar on your sparring partner. That was freaking dope and was pretty terrifying, actually.
Yeah,
I
that's
would.
years of experience just doing this, and now I took it to another level. So it's, there's still so much to learn, and I'm still learning, but doing this all those years has helped.
For somebody, Melissa, that's never seen you fight before, how would you describe to everyone who's watching this show like your fighting style? Like, what are you all about? Like,
Work ethic, like a little bit of talent, a little bit of a gift that was given to me, which I believe that I have. But work ethic, this much work ethic. I think that, if you work hard and you're there every day and you're doing what you're supposed to do, you have a very big chance of winning. You have a very big chance of getting better. I'm determined to learn new things, and
from stylistically, like, are you drawn to like one particular discipline? Like, some people like the Muay Thai thing, some people like the K1 stuff, boxing, grappling. Is there any one discipline in particular that is like definitely in your wheelhouse, or are you just kind of like a true student of mixed martial arts and you like them all?
I like everything, but I love my kickboxing. I love kicking, I love punching. You know, I am working on my wrestling behind the scenes. I'm working on my jujitsu. I'm working extra hard because I know the day is gonna come. But I want MMA. That's the main goal. So, Yeah, behind the scenes, I'm working on my ground game. I'm taking every bit of information that I can, and I'm putting the time in during my camp. I'm training for a kickboxing fight, and I'm working on my ground game as well.
Okay, so Melissa, tell me about your most recent fight. You fought July 31st, 2021, just a couple weeks ago at Extreme Cage Fighting Warriors Challenge. Um, Tell me a little bit about how you trained for that fight and what that experience was like for you.
It was kind of tough getting fights because of obviously the pandemic was going on, and safety was the number one priority for everyone. But once stuff started coming back, I'm like, hey, it's time to fight. So I was training constantly, just waiting for the opportunity, doing what I have to do, being the best me that I can be every single day, working hard. I had a full camp of like, I'd say a 3-month camp of just waiting for a fight, waiting for a fight. And then the opportunity came like 2 weeks beforehand. And I was like over the roof. I'm like, yes, finally. And I was so ready. I was staying ready. One thing about me is I stay ready. I'm already locked in, ready for the next one, getting prepared. I stay ready because I know that with amateur fights, opportunities can come like in an instant, and you never know when you're going to have to fight. So I was ready.
You hit on something that my last guest, Blake Perry, he's also an amateur fighter. And he told me one thing about being an amateur that he likes is if you stay ready, there are opportunities. Like there's a lot
Yeah.
less red tape. And
Yeah.
it's just really a matter of, am I ready to fight? Can I go?
One thing that one of my teammates told me was, listen to me. I know this is amateur, but if you lose, none of your dreams will come true. I feel like I'm in the spotlight right now. And I know that there are a lot of people that have doubted me and doubt me. So I have to win every single one of them. And I will. I know that it gets wiped clean when I go pro, but I'm determined to win every single one of them. And it's because what I do now carries on over to my pro career for sure. So
Your aspirations in going pro. Do you have a time frame in mind, or are you just kind of taking it fight by fight?
the next step, within the next 2 or 3 years, going pro. I see myself, as long as I'm on the route that I am right now and I'm consistent within 2 or 3 years. Promised.
Would you have any interest in like doing like a grappling deal? Or
Uh
just anything like that? Or are you just gonna kind of like look for MMA fights?
yeah, I mean, that'll definitely up my game. That could be a really good asset, a nice tool for me to build up on for sure. I've been actually to stuff like that, the kickboxing and doing the kickboxing matches, and as well as doing a couple grappling matches, like gotta work on that ground game. I love striking.
Hey,
That's where I shine. But
you
not
are
gonna
a
say
gifted striker. I like your kicks a lot. I like your speed a lot, and I think are able to like demonstrate to a wider audience like what you're capable of doing. People are going to after there's more tape on you out there, people are naturally going to be like, I'm not standing with her. It ain't happening. And if there's a coach who's training a fighter or prepping a fighter that's getting ready to fight you, they're gonna be like, take her to the ground. We
yep,
aren't standing up with her.
yep.
We aren't kickboxing with her. It ain't happening.
Oh,
Uh,
I
and I'm
know.
sure that's something that you drill at Tiger Schulmann's like every single day. I bet your
But
takedown defense is awesome.
I'm not sleeping. I'm not sleeping at all. I'm working on it. I've got all the tools that I need, and behind the scenes, it's being worked on every single day. I don't care if I'm having a kickboxing fight. I know that MMA is my goal, so I'm working on my ground and pound. I'm working on my wrestling. I'm working on my takedown defense. I'm working on my takedowns. Working on my all of that. So
That's so awesome. And so we have a 2 3 year time frame. We're going to be doing amateur fights for the next 2 3 years. I think that's great. I mean,
yeah,
you're 24 years old. You're not even after that 2 to 3 year after 2 to 3 years have lapsed. You're still not even going to be close to your athletic prime. So is I know I'm. This might be kind of a chump question, but like what is your goal? Like do you want to be in like Invicta or Bellator or the UFC? I mean, there's so many opportunities, there's so many good organizations out there. Do you have one in your mind in particular or not really?
Bellator.
I
For
hear that a
sure.
lot, actually.
Bellator.
What is it about Bellator that
Um,
you like?
just everything about it. I love the whole aspect. I love the fighters, and it's just a super exciting show to be on. Super exciting card, and that's the goal. The goal is to take these kickboxing fights, these last few ones, get this amateur MMA, and I want to go to Bellator. That's the goal.
That would be
My sensei shined in Bellator, and he also fought in the UFC.
if I were a fighter, I guess it would depend on like weight class. But I'm like 5'9", so for my size, let's just say hypothetically, if I were a fighter, I would probably have to be like 45 or 55. I can't imagine being bigger than that. Like I would have to be in probably one of those two. Um, and if those were my choices, 45 and 55, there is no way I would go to the UFC. Like, nope, I'm not going there. Like it's way too deep. And this is just me speaking. I want to get paid more. So I'd probably go to Bellator or I'd go to PFL. That would be me. That would be my answer. I like the idea of PFL and I like the idea of performance. Like you're earning your next fight purely on merit. There aren't any politics. All you need to do is win. And you don't need to be a name to find yourself in a money fight. And that's really appealing to me. So that would be the Tyler answer.
I mean,
Yeah.
anything is possible. Sky's the limit. I'm speaking into the existence right now that I want Bellator. A lot of people know. I actually had gotten on the bike recently. I was doing cardio, and when I'm training, I get a little, pumped up, and I speak things into existence. I say things, and I was screaming out loud. I was like, "I'm gonna go to Bellator. I want to make it all happen. I'm gonna do it. Watch me." Watch me. I'm going to give myself the life that I deserve. I'm going to spoil myself. Watch. I'm going to give myself everything. I'm going to be independent. I'm going to do it all. Whoa,
Wow.
and it's coming from the heart. It's truly something that I want, I desire, and I'm going to get it by all means possible.
Is there, what weight class do you want to compete in at Bellator?
Right now I'm fighting at 125.
Would you go to 15?
15. But we'll see. We'll see.
You can't go to those cool places that we talked about earlier in the show if you're going to do that, though.
Definitely no halal guys.
No halal guys.
No LMBs, no Christina's Deli. No.
No Junior's Cheesecake.
Nope.
That's sad.
No creperie.
No creperie.
It is what it is. You gotta make the sacrifices.
Maybe but 125 is all right though.
It's always gonna be these restaurants and everything. I mean, I walk around 135, 130,
So that's not that bad of a cut then. If you're
anything's possible. Anything's possible.
And it's for the right fight. If it's the right opportunity and the right purse, then why not? Like even Jorge Masvidal was like, yeah, I'll go down to 55 to fight McGregor. Absolutely. Anyone else, I won't. I'm like, I don't blame you. Like I would feel the same way. Melissa, before I let you go, I wanted to ask you kind of a personal question, and we hinted on it earlier. I talked to a lot of fighters from all over the country. A lot of them are fathers, mothers. They go to school full time. They work full time. You have a modeling career, and then you have your fighting career. And I have to imagine that's incredibly demanding on like your time, your schedule. Like being a fighter at any competitive level, that in and of itself is almost a full-time job. Can you tell me like how the heck are you able to manage all that stuff?
The money that I make modeling is definitely put towards my camp. It's the craziest thing. I can't do any photo shoots. Once I'm locked in, it's tough. Maybe on like a weekend or whatever, but then I have all these bruises all over my body and I'm obviously tired and I need to take my rest day. I get like one rest day out of the week and that's the day I need to be home sleeping. And so it's tough, but I do have a love for modeling. I do love the whole idea of it. I think it's amazing. It's a privilege to be able to wear clothes that fashion designers customly make and they want me to wear. Like that's amazing. And taking these amazing photos. But fighting is my passion. That's where my heart lies. And I choose fighting over modeling every single time.
I'm glad you said that because it's one of those things where it's like I can only imagine both of those things are incredibly taxing, incredibly demanding. At the same time, we all have
Yeah,
to do it.
makeup
Have to
artists
do
look
it.
at me like I'm crazy.
Oh, I bet. I
They
bet.
really do. I come in there and I have bruises all over my legs and arms. And they're like, what happened to you? I'm like, sparring. They're like, what?
Right.
What? Then we got makeup, put makeup everywhere, but it's kind of like they look at me sideways, like, oh, excuse me, ma'am. What's going on here?
I can't imagine two like professions that would conflict with each other. Like fighting and modeling, I don't
Balance.
think there's anything more, I don't think there's any more extreme comparison between the two.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. There were times where I'd hurt my foot during sparring and I can't wear heels. I can't, they're like, oh, you have to put the heels on for 2 seconds. Just take the picture. I'm like, oh, I put it on. Come on. I'm like, okay, squeeze my foot and then I'm in like excruciating pain. We like, posing outside all those hours. They want pictures. They're paying you. So you have to do what they say. And I do love it. But there's been so many times that I unprofessionally can't need photo shoots, and I'm like, I can't. Like, I have a fight coming up. I can't. When I'm in camp, that's it. Like, no, it's just not worth it. The modeling is great, get beautiful pictures, but I'm looking at the bigger picture. This is something that I love and I want to pursue as a career. Modeling is something that has to be on the side as a little gig. It is what it is.
When you are making that Bellator money, you may not have to do it at all.
Ah.
Man,
Hey, you know what? But if Donatella Versace wants to give me a dress and have me do a photo shoot in clothes, I'm not saying no. I'm not saying no. I would say, Donatella, you have me. Even bigger designers that want to work with me on the side. And I think, I serve as an inspiration as this beautiful woman that can fight as well. Anything is possible for sure. No matter what I look like or where I come from or who I am, I could still fight and pursue a career for professional fighting.
I think if I were a model, I'd probably be a little more limited in what I could model for. Because look at me, I mean, I'm all sleeved out and stuff.
Ah!
I don't know. I don't know what I would do. What do you think?
Oh my God.
I don't know what I would model. Maybe like MMA shirts. I don't know what else I could potentially
Maybe.
do.
Maybe.
I'm pretty limited. I think I fucked my model career over before it even started. I know that there's so many people that work with you behind the scenes at Tiger Schulmann's. I know that there are just some amazing teammates that you have: Solomon, Shane, Jimmy, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I want to give you an opportunity to shout out anyone that you want to shout out. And if you have anything going on as far as your modeling career is concerned, or anything else that you got going on that you want everyone to know about, I want to give you the opportunity to do that.
Well, I am locked in. I locked in actually today. I have big fight news coming up. I'm gonna announce pretty soon, so I'm super excited for that. It's a big card, but I feel no pressure. No pressure on this side. It's a big New York City card, and I can't wait to announce it. Like, I'm excited. This is a big opportunity, and I'm getting ready for it. I'm ready. I'm ready. Yes.
Let's do it. Yeah, and as soon as you can go public with that, yeah, let us know. I will definitely put that and share that with people because I'm sure there are a lot of folks that are going to want to know what you got going on. How can people get a hold of you? I don't know. I know we follow each other, but I don't know like what your Instagram is off the top of my head.
Through at Melissa Statick in a K. Pretty much. But my messages are like overboard right now. I have like hundreds of message requests. Since my last fight, I kind of blew up overnight with that win. I didn't expect for all these people to start following me out of nowhere. I got close to 10,000 followers within 1 week of just posting my win. So I was like, wow, what's going on here? So I have hundreds of messages going on, and I every one of them. But I've been asked this question over and over and over through. I have a big fan base on TikTok as well, and they're always asking me, "How did you get started? I want to try this." There are girls that girls or boys, they usually message me or comment under my posts and they're like, I want to fight and I want to do boxing, but my mom and dad won't let me. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like that's the most heartbreaking thing I have heard, you know? That's something that I look at, I'm like, oh, like as a kid, I love to fight. Like I can imagine how they're feeling. So what I have to say to them is just take my picture, show them my Instagram, show them everything that I'm doing, show them all my videos, say, mommy, daddy, look at this girl, look at what she's doing. I want to do what she's doing. Show them me, especially the girls out there. Show them me. Show your mom and dad picture me in full glam of makeup and then fighting. I'm okay. I look great. I'm fine, right? Your kid will be fine. If your kid wants to take up boxing, fighting, let him do it for sure. One day when I have kids, I'm not holding them back. If they want to pursue a career in a crazy way, go ahead, do it. I'm not one to stop anybody. That's one of the questions that I get, and it's just so sad.
Absolutely. Like, there's nothing worse than having a dream get crushed before you even get started. And
Yeah.
on the flip side of what you're saying, I would also say that message also applies to people no matter how old you are, no matter what. Like if there's
Oh
something
yeah.
that you want to do it.
Yeah. I think anything is possible. It doesn't matter what age you are. You can start right now if you want to. I think everybody is limitless. You create yourself. If you want to be a professional fighter, go and do it. You can do it. And like people think that, all of these UFC champions and fighters are just magically gifted and they earned their spot right on the spot. And like, they're like, oh, that's just how they are. And I can't be that because I'm not like that. But they started from somewhere. People don't understand that greatness starts from somewhere small too. There was a point where they were just regular people and they still are regular people. They just taught themselves to be that way and worked hard. If you work hard for something, you can go and get it. I know that my body's limitless. I know I can learn anything and I can do anything that I set my mind to, for sure.
So I'll tell you something personal about me. I have only been doing this. This is like my 4th month doing this. 4 months.
Okay.
Four. And in that time, and I'm not saying this to be, I have no ego. I didn't make this for me. I did it because I'm passionate about mixed martial arts. I really enjoy the sport. It's like watching like chess, and there's something beautiful about two people that are fighting, and then when it's over, it's over. It's like you go and like have a beer with that person. 4 months ago, I was going through a really tough time mentally. I was struggling with mental health, depression mostly. It was just something I've had like my entire life, and I needed to do something that made me happy.
Oh,
and
well, I'm happy that you're doing what you love and you're happy.
I do.
Happiness is important. You have to do what you love.
And I'm nobody special. I'm not anybody special, but you know what I did? I just said to myself, like, you know what? If there's one person out there who competes that appreciates what I do, then I've already like accomplished what I set out to do. This is my way of like giving back to something. Well, thank you so much.
And I've been waiting to talk about my career, and like I wanted this moment, to just bring light to situation in school and just everything in general with like kids, not being able to follow their dreams because their parents are holding them back and all this stuff because parents want their kids to be safe, which I understand. Parents love their kids. Even my parents were very skeptical of me going out there and fighting, but I gave them no choice. That's what it was. I put my foot down and I said, this is what I want as a career. This is what I'm going to do. And this is what you're going to love for me. And, they come to my fights. My mom, I heard she was a little nervous because I think that was her first time coming to my fights. My dad would always come to my fights, And when I came out that ring, he picked me up in the air and he was the happiest man on the planet. So, I do want my parents to be proud, and kids, make your parents proud. Show them. If your parents aren't letting you do it, show them. Make them believe in you.
Have the courage to try is what I would say. No matter whatever that passion is, you have to have the
Yeah,
courage
have
to
the
try.
courage to try. Especially, women are always reaching out to me and asking me, yeah, especially a TikTok. I have a big platform on TikTok right now, because the modeling and the fighting surprises a lot of people. I'm like a unicorn over here, people are like, oh my God, look, and it's great. Like, I had this big platform to share my voice and be an inspiration to people. So I'm using it wisely. I'm posting motivational stuff. I'm posting stuff that matters. And I always get this one question from women: how do you gain your confidence? I'm like, and I have women that hit me up, like message me, how do you gain your confidence? Wear a sports bra in the gym. I'm like, oh my God, like, we have to be more brave over here. Okay. Like, ladies, we need to get in formation, and we need to, just confidence is in a hard work. That's where I get my confidence, for sure. I know that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, acting hard, and my hard work speaks for itself. That's where I get my confidence, and there are some, like, I'm not perfect. There are some days where I'm not feeling my best, like every other human being, but just fake it till I make it. I'm like, yeah, feeling great, awesome. Feelings pass, back to my confident self, because I work hard and I know that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. So that's where I get my confidence. But all the women out there asking me these questions, and I think it's really hard for women to be confident nowadays, especially on social media. There's so many women feel like there's so much competition, so much. And I'm like, just be you, be yourself. You are beautiful in yourself. You are beautiful in and out, and you are you. That's what it is. We're all born with different fingerprints. That's what I always say. We're all unique in our own special way.
Having like your attitude makes the biggest difference. And I know that's like hard to, it's easier said than done because we all get in a deep, dark place sometimes, but it's really just a matter of saying to yourself, like, you know what? I'm going to give this all I got and I'll get better tomorrow. Melissa, you are an incredible person.
Thank
you're
you.
very kind.
You too.
And, well, I'm pretty baller. That's true. But
oh, you're great.
But I am of the belief that like fighting is your passion, and of course you have the talent and the work ethic to get to that next level. I think all the accolades and what you're going to be able to achieve in your athletic career is going to pale in comparison to what you may be able to do outside of that cage, and that is being a positive role model for young girls in particular, and giving women in general the confidence that they need to be their best selves. And that's easier said than done. But there's something about you that you have like this like magnetic personality that a lot of people are going to want to hear how you were able to do that.
I feel like that's why I'm here. I feel like that's why I'm here. That's why I have a tattoo on my foot. It says "Move with Purpose," and I feel like I have some sort of crazy destiny, operation to people. And I know that I have a purpose to serve, and I'm doing what I have to do.
Melissa, you are the bomb, and I can't wait to talk to you again after you win your next fight.
Yep. Speak it into existence. I am going to win my next fight, and I will be on here.
And you'll be back. So thank you for your time, and we'll talk